Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kuadrant community call on Tuesday, March the 12th, 2024. We're going to talk about things that Craig brought in to start with, I think. You there, Craig?
Yeah.
Okay. Take it away.
All right. So with the discussion around DNS policy and distributed DNS, the subject came up about bumping the version of the DNS policy API. It's currently still v1 alpha 1, I think. But I want to open discussion and get people's thoughts on moving at least the Kuadrant APIs, I guess, to maybe v1 beta 1. They have been around for a while. Yeah, we haven't had too much engagement on them, so it's kind of hard to say that they're not going to break, but beta doesn't mean we can't break them. It just means we're less likely to break them. So yeah, I want to open that discussion. So currently, we're planning to do this with DNS policy and TLS policy. I guess the main question would be around rate limit policy and auth policy then. Anybody got thoughts or opinions on that?
Well,
no.
Everybody seems to agree with you.
Okay, then. So then I'm going to suggest that we do that. I will create some issues on the Kuadrant operator repo.
Just from my understanding, what versions of the API are we currently on?
Yeah, I was about to mention auth policy and rate limit policy are v1 beta 2.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, that's why it's so quiet. Okay, that makes it easy then. So yeah, we'll move TLS policy and DNS policy then. Yeah, that was quick and painless. All right, so next one. So DNS operator is a new component. It's going to go through a rapid set of changes, and they're not all compatible at the moment with what's in the Kuadrant operator. So we will be updating the Kuadrant operator, but we hit a problem today where, excuse me, we merged something back to the DNS operator. It wasn't a release, it was back to main, but that broke something in the Kuadrant operator because the Kuadrant operator expects to use main of the DNS operator. So yeah, I guess the suggestion in chat is that we move to a pinned version of the DNS operator. And I guess I wanted to open that discussion again for other dependencies. Should we follow the same with each of these, or are we kind of happy with the rest of them are? Yeah.
Yeah, no, one question. If you pin the version, how will it affect the nightlies?
You'll be running against the pinned version for the time being.
Okay, so that means we don't get to really test the new DNS operator stuff until it is all done in the Kuadrant operator.
I mean, you can test it, but it'll be broken.
Okay, yeah. The question is, how often do we want to update this?
So I think once we get back to a stable, we probably could reconsider moving back to main, right? It's just that a lot is changing in that component at the moment, so we don't want to like break out all the tests constantly. So
I mean, if you give me just a time frame, like for the next 3 weeks, we are not going to see the changes in the DNS operator. That's fine, but I would like to know it. Right, and also I would like it to be finite.
I mean, it will definitely be finite. I'm not going to give you like a written contract of it's going to be 3 weeks, but it should be relatively quick.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Mikoski?
Yeah. To start with, I'm not blocking this anyway, but my way of thinking is different. I will have main branch pointing to main branches of the dependency operators, yes, things could break. The stable thing happens in release branches. And if something breaks, the whole system is broken. And that's, I mean, it's not a big issue as long as things can be fixed in a in a short period of time, reasonable time. I don't think it's a big issue to have the thing broken for some time, especially considering we are a small team. If we were hundreds, I will go for the other approach, being not so many. It's easy I go to Guy and I say, hey, authoring operator is broken, please fix it as soon as possible because it's blocking me, or limitador operator, or DNS operator, whatever. I don't know. Just dropping my opinion on this.
So I guess like the docs talk about a release branch. So if you were to follow the quick start, it would still work even if main happened to be broken. I don't particularly like having main broken for any length of time if possible. Especially if we're getting like any new developers or something, it would be not a great experience for them to like spin up from main and then have things not work and they'll be like, what's going on? And get, it would be quite confusing, right? So keeping main kind of sane seems like a reasonable approach, especially if we ever get some kind of contribution, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the kind of way that's how I kind of think about it right now. I think as I mentioned, I think these are like fairly significant like breaking changes that we're currently undertaking. They're not the kind of thing that we're undertaking every week. So hopefully it's a rare occasion where this sort of situation arises, especially as we get more into the stable APIs. Like we shouldn't be breaking backwards compatibility, but we are currently. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's my 2 cents, is try and keep main as stable as possible. And that's the reason why pinning it for now makes sense in my head.
And I'm guessing the work is bigger than just one pull request that you could not do all this development work in a development branch and then
there are quite a lot of, there's a significant number of changes happening.
Right.
Right. It would be, I mean, you could create a release branch, merge the release branch, then merge to the operator, but like it's really 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? Like you still wouldn't get to test what the latest stuff is, and you would then basically make main a release branch, basically. So yeah.
No, I think it's good. I think that the default should not be pointing, but like it makes sense, just practically speaking, to do this, no, for limited time.
Yeah, I just think it's pragmatic to do it to avoid like a lot of headaches for people who are potentially working against main in the next week or two, next couple of weeks. So I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't think we have to overthink it as such, but yeah, okay. That's everything I had on the list.
Could you scroll up, Paul, to see if there's more in the backlog?
So there's always more in the backlog. What we usually ask is, does anybody want to bring something from the backlog in?
Yeah. Anybody? Okay. Well, that sounds like a no. So we cut it short here, 15 minutes in. I think if nobody wants to bring up anything, we're done.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Thomas.
Take care. Bye.
Yes.